Have you ever wondered what it's like to share your home with 10,000 tiny roommates? Well, I did just that, and let me tell you, it's been quite the adventure. The sheer number of challenges that come with beekeeping caught me completely off guard. You see, the queen isn't just another bee. She's the heart and soul of the colony, the linchpin that holds everything together. Without her, the hive simply can't survive. Sounds simple enough, right? Just pop her in and let nature take its course. If only it were that easy. The hard part was over, or so I thought. Little did I know, introducing her to the hive would prove to be an even greater challenge. You see, bees are fiercely protective of their colony, and they don't take kindly to strangers, even if that stranger is meant to be their new leader. It's not just about setting up a hive and watching the bees do their thing. It involves placing her in a small cage within the hive, allowing the worker bees to gradually become accustomed to her scent. In theory, this should lead to a smooth transition of power. In practice, well, let's just say things didn't go quite according to plan. Somewhere in that living, breathing carpet of insects is one bee that looks just slightly different from the rest. I remembered my training, the hours I'd spent studying bee behavior. The angry buzz of the bees gradually softened, replaced by a more rhythmic hum. The bees were following a scent, the queen's scent. Despite all the commotion, despite my blunders, the natural order was reasserting itself. It wasn't just that the immediate crisis had passed, it was the realization that these tiny creatures were far more resilient and adaptable than I had given them credit for. They had weathered my mistakes and were now working together to establish their new hierarchy. The workers were seeking out their queen, drawn by an instinct more powerful than their initial defensive reaction. Here was nature in action, a complex social structure playing out before my eyes. From the panic of a bee swarm to the quiet satisfaction of watching a healthy hive at work, every day brings new experiences and insights. It was a humbling moment, a reminder of how much I still had to learn. Behind that tiny insect is a story of cooperation, instinct, and survival that's been playing out for millions of years. And who knows? Maybe you'll be inspired to start your own beekeeping adventure. Just remember, when it comes to raising bees, expect the unexpected and always check your suit for holes. I watched in awe as the bees began to move with purpose. No longer swirling in confused aggression but flowing in a more organized pattern. Slowly, carefully, I began to work through the swarm, my movements more deliberate now. The challenges I faced in those early days of beekeeping taught me valuable lessons about patience, perseverance, and respect for the natural world. I learned that sometimes the best thing you can do is step back and let nature take its course. I danced and flailed, trying to shake off the bees that had found their way inside my suit. This wasn't just about me anymore. I had taken on the responsibility of caring for these creatures, and now, when things were at their worst, I needed to step up. All the while, I was acutely aware that somewhere in this chaos, the queen was still at risk. In my eagerness to get her settled, I rushed the process, releasing her too soon. The reaction from the hive was immediate and intense. The queen took her place at the center of the colony. Laying eggs and coordinating the activities of her workers, the hive buzzed with productivity, each bee playing its part in the grand scheme of things. The air filled with an angry buzz as the worker bees swarmed around the newcomer, perceiving her as a threat rather than their new monarch. The constant hum of the bees became the soundtrack to my search, a reminder of the clock ticking away. It was a rookie error and I was paying the price. It was barely visible, but in the world of beekeeping, even the tiniest breach can have major consequences. The bees, already agitated by the commotion, quickly found this weak point in my armor. The hive was in chaos and I was right in the middle of it, desperately trying to salvage the situation. Each passing minute felt like an eternity as I scanned frame after frame, hoping to catch a glimpse of her slightly larger body or distinctive markings. That's your queen, and your job is to find her. It's like the world's most high-stakes game of Where's Waldo, except Waldo can sting you. And if you don't find him, your entire project falls apart. Oh no, it's so much more than that. From learning the intricacies of bee behavior, to mastering the art of handling these delicate creatures, every day brought a new lesson and often a new mistake to learn from. From sleepless nights to unexpected swarms, my journey into beekeeping has been nothing short of extraordinary. But before we dive in, let me ask you this: how would you feel if you suddenly found yourself responsible for thousands of lives, each no bigger than your fingernail? Stick around, and I'll take you on a wild ride through the ups and downs of becoming an accidental apiarist. When I first decided to raise bees at home, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But of all the challenges I faced, none was quite as daunting as the quest to find and introduce the queen bee to the hive. Picture this: you're standing in front of a buzzing mass of 10,000 bees, all nearly identical to the untrained eye. I spent hours peering into the hive, my eyes straining to spot that elusive queen. When I finally did locate the queen, I felt a mix of elation and trepidation. The process of introducing the queen is delicate, to say the least. My first attempt at introducing the queen was a disaster. Panic set in as I realized my mistake. I frantically tried to intervene, my clumsy movements only agitating the bees further. As if things couldn't get any worse, that's when I noticed it, a small tear in my protective suit. What followed was a scene straight out of a slapstick comedy, if slapstick comedies involved thousands of angry, stinging insects. In that moment of pandemonium, with bees buzzing in my ears and my heart pounding in my chest, I had a sudden realization. Taking a deep breath as deep as one can with bees potentially in one suit, I forced myself to calm down. As I focused on the task at hand, something remarkable began to happen. The chaos around me started to subside. It took me a moment to realize what was happening. As the bees began to cluster around the queen, I felt a wave of relief wash over me. Watching the bees fall into line around their queen, I was struck by the beauty of it all. In the days that followed, I watched with a mixture of pride and amazement as the hive settled into its new rhythm. As for me, I emerged from this experience a changed person. My journey into beekeeping has been filled with surprises, setbacks, and moments of pure wonder. So, the next time you see a bee buzzing around your garden, take a moment to appreciate the complex world it represents.